when we go with alternative energy, we have multiple alternative energies resources. One is solar power, and next wind power, biogas, geothermal, hydro power plants, and tidal energy. And even you have nuclear power plant, which are also very less emitting gases power plant. Next to renewable energies, we even consider nuclear power plant, which uses very less fuel to generate volumes of energy. So that is the main advantage of nuclear. But when it comes to solar, it is a consistent power generation. Consistency in the sense, at least you can expect minimum generation from solar power plant. And as India being a peninsula or tropical region, you have plenty of resources in renewable energy sector. Means you can develop or build solar renewable energy plants, and you can reach out your targets. And then wind is another choice where you have 24/7 potential. And you, of course, we do have some limited areas in India, like 4 to 5 states which are having plenty windmills, wind speeds. There you can easily put, and other areas are also available, like hilly areas like Jammu and Kashmir, and you have some Maharashtrian areas like Pune and all. There you can easily implement. And biogas, yes, we have some potential up to uh, 150 to 180 megawatt potential, as per the government. And when it comes to geothermal, as per geographical survey of India, we have potential to harvest up to 10 gigawatt of energy with geothermal. But at this moment, the project costing is a bit expensive, but people are working on a larger basis, like to reduce it, and what are the advancement to be taken.
Good evening, sir.
Then hydropower plant, yes, already we have lot many hydropower plants, and nowadays we are encouraging small hydro as well. And when it comes to small hydro, country to country, the rating of power plant is varies, because in other countries, 25 megawatt and above comes under larger, and below is smaller. But in India, we are considering 1 to 100 kilowatt is micro hydro power plant, and from 100 to 2 megawatt it is mini hydro power plant, and from 2 to 25 is a small hydro power plant. And of course, as we said, I think 4 to 5 states like Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir, there are 4 states which are having 50% of potential on total expected potential from the wind hydro power plants. And then is tidal. Yes, tidal is also one option, but at this moment it is expensive. And on a global scenario, people are going with that. I think 10 gigawatt somewhere it is already installed in overseas location, and even we are also striving for better alternative in the near future. And if we look at even in if we sub classify the, if you look at the first picture, we have DC coupled and AC coupled hybrid systems. So in this, if you see the first picture, just a minute, let me make it up. Yeah, this is a DC coupled system where from PV power plant is a solar power plant. You generate from the solar, you will get a DC power, fluctuating DC power with respect to your solar radiation, and your solar charge controller will convert fluctuating DC to stable DC, and we are connecting it to a battery which will have a stable DC. And from the wind also, based on the rotation RPM, rotations per minute, your frequency and voltages will vary, and your wind charge controller will keep regulating with respect to your DC bus voltage. and you are again connected to an inverter which will convert DC to AC. And you have even diesel generator when you have low resources, like when if it is a night condition, so your PV is less, it is zero, PV is zero, and if wind is less, then you will be using a battery bank stored energy. And even if you crosses your lower limit of the battery, then automatically your diesel generator will get fired. So because your diesel generator will give you AC output, so battery charger will convert three-phase or single-phase AC to battery charging. So it will parallelly charge the battery and give power to your load. So you have another inverter which will convert fundamental DC to AC. So this is called DC coupled system, and this is also called a hybrid system. But again, in a hybrid, it is a DC coupled system. And when it comes to other picture, uh, it is like you have DC bus and AC bus. So in between you have a bidirectional inverter, so that will play a role in changing the resources or making changeovers from between DC and AC and all, uh, where you have I think bidirectional inverters, you most probably you hear in the market that where you in generally what happens, bidirectional inverters or UPS you generally listen, that is called, even if you have a load condition, you have battery and you have grid. When you have grid power, you are getting in normal inverters directly, when the grid power is available, it will directly fed to your load. So you may be experiencing the difference in voltages. So then there is a sensitive voltages, then it will harm your load. So in that case, to safeguard your sensitive loads, your normal inverters will not work out. In that case, we use generally bidirectional inverter or UPS. Then what happens, even if you get DC AC power from the grid, it will convert AC to DC and charge the battery. From battery only, you again invert it to AC and then you feed your load. So that is the form of pure electric voltage output. And then you will, your loads will be at stable and safe condition. So that is the main role of bidirectional in the normal scenario. In this case, bidirectional in the sense, it will take power from multiple resources and convert to your required load level. And then if you comes to next level, you have battery charger and inverter. In this case, both will act in different functionality. Like if you are getting solar, and it will solar charge control, again DC variable DC to regulated DC, it will convert and give it to the DC bus, and it will charge the battery. But when you have diesel generator, directly you can feed, because you have a changeover in between. So directly also you can feed to load, or you can directly charge the battery with the use of battery charger. Then from battery again, it will again your inverter will takes the role for conversion, and it gives power to the load. But in this case, what happens, you are converting two times, like from AC to DC, you are converting from battery charger, and from battery to inverting, again you are converting from DC to AC. So you have two times of conversion. So definitely you will be, when you have multiple conversion, definitely you will be having lower efficiency. So to avoid it, generally we practice that if you have a regulated output levels from the diesel generator, when generally what happens, from if you are powering your loads with diesel generator, if you are varying the loads, then there is a chance of variation in your frequency and voltages. But when you have consistent load, then it is 100% suggested to go with directly feeding of your load with the generator, and parallelly you charge the battery. So where you can 10 to 15% you can reduce your losses, or improve your efficiencies. That is also one concept of hybrid. Then other cases, you have only AC bus. So individually you are getting power from resources like solar, you have PV inverter, and again you have wind inverter. So all will get combined at AC level. Then your power loads will get survived. So that is also one concept of AC bus in hybrid model. And if you look at it, last picture, we are combining at DC level, at the resource level. Then all the battery bank will charge with this one, and you have a single inverter for AC to DC converter, you will load. Now, these are some different kinds of topologies. In general, we call them as a topologies. In AC coupled the topology or DC coupled the topologies, something like that. And when we look at it, individual efficiencies of your renewable power plants or resources, from solar, it is expected to have 15 to 20% of efficiency. Of course, even during these days, we are even getting at 21 also. But in the majority of the market, you will experience with 15 to 20% with a mono per half cut cells. And next is wind power plant. As with respect to Betch constant, it is somewhere around 55, and but in practice, you can get up to 30 to 45% of efficiency levels. And those efficiency levels will again differs from place to place. Like when there is a huge wind availability, then obviously your wind power plant will operate at maximum power point levels. Then obviously your efficiencies will be at upper side. And even sometimes efficiency levels of wind turbines will even goes to 1 or 2, because you are not operating at optimal level. Means you are not operating in the sense you are not getting the resource at minimum level. So that is also one criteria. And when it comes to biomass, it is having 75 to 80%. But when we look at it, 80% level means it is 100% thumbs up, action. But it requires lot of handling and operations. So because of the reason, and even you need to have the resources in a proper way. And even government of India is making lot of initiatives, and they have released some policies, and even they are giving some incentives, even they are giving some subsidies for the establishment of the power plants. So but for sure that you have resources, but if you use them in an effective way, you can implement your biogas or biomass power plant, and you can operate at 80% level. And geothermal power plant is up to 21%. And of course, at this moment we are expecting at 21. But as technology improves, and when the uh, you know uh, processes comes under, when you are minimizing the more processes, automatically your efficiency will improve. And we are, as I said, we have potential up to 10 gigawatt. So we will expect some good figures from geothermal as well. And when it comes to hydropower plant, the efficiency levels are 30 to 45%. Yes, true. And which is more suitable for some locations. But the issue with the hydropower plant is for establishment to construct dams and maintenance is very huge. So capital expenditure will be high, but in the long run, for 20 to 25 years, it is most taking decisions. And even we have smaller hydropower plants these days from some regions which are more fruitful. And then is tidal. Yes, we have 75 to 80% efficiency levels with tidal. As I said, it is also under most evolution stage. But after all, if we consider the most suitable uh, implemented power plants is solar and wind. Because being it the tropical country, you have all seasons, you have all water resources, because at three sides you have plenty of water. So if you look at it, most implemented, most viable power plants is solar and wind. And if you look at the figures with respect to 31st March of 2014, 40.5% is the large hydro and 21% is wind. And solar is very minimum level. And because government of India, as per Paris Agreement, every year we need to reduce 2% of temperature. And to meet that requirements, government of India has targeted to establish 175 gigawatt of renewable energies by 2022. So out of them, 100 gigawatt is for your solar, and 60 is your wind, and remaining 15 is from the other resources.